Pretty intense looking sky starting to form. It's supposed to be a thunderstorm tonight. So I gotta get moving. So I decided to go to Killarney for a little bit after spending some time at Point Grenadine. So we're set up here at Site 140, and we're on top of the big hill on top of the site. We're expecting a thunderstorm and rain throughout the night, so we thought we'd set up in the forest, as nothing else looks too great for me to be sitting in. This looks like the best and safest option for me tonight. I'll show you what I was working with though. So here, a potentially nice spot to set up a tent, but not with the rain. And I didn't have a rope long enough for my tarp to make it work, but yeah, right there wouldn't have been too bad. Which I don't know if you can see it here, but you got this really steep hill, so I'm about 50 meters away. I wouldn't say it's really steep, it's a good slope. And with the other best tent pad, if I also wanted to be close to the fire pit, was down here. But as you'll see, that didn't look like a great option because all the rain, I would imagine, or could imagine, be coming right towards this beautiful spot. You see, you got all these rocks just funneling the rainwater into you, so I chose to go all the way back into the woods. And yeah, this is the fire pit, which I probably won't get any use out of, considering the fact now it's a high wind and a thunderstorm. But I'm going to get out and go for a little paddle before it gets too much worse. It's about 9:30 in the morning, and we're going to head out and set on to David Lake. We're going to take what seems like the long way, a lot more paddling than portaging way, because we're going to make a loop out of it. Anyways, it's a nice overcast day, and we're not sure what the weather's going to do. We're going to not get a weather report and see if we can recognize the signs of nature telling us if it's going to rain or anything else. But I got the rain gear handy, and it looks like there's not a lot of wind today, so should be good. A little mucky. The old tram. Marine railway remains. This is cool. There's all this little hemlock in this red pine forest. And the red pine forest probably grew after maybe a fire potentially. And now the hemlocks are situated to take over when the red pine's time is done, or even before their time is done. Love seeing this type of forest succession. And now we are approaching the portage to David Lake. I am told it is very steep. Looks like that will be true. Okay, I see my campsite. It definitely doesn't look the greatest from here. It looks very steep and slopey, but it looks like maybe there's a nice level area up top. I have no idea where to get out. This shall be quite the adventure. But I got 2 days here. 2 whole days on the site on David Lake that no one else wanted. What a ridiculously huge fire pit. Beautiful view though. My Garmin said absolutely 0% chance of rain tonight. Was not prepared for that rain last night. It's quite a heavy downpour. Stuff got wet and dirty. Hoping it warms up, get some sun, and starts drying things off. But beautiful out here. Goal is to climb to the top of Silver Peak. And we're going to head over, portage to Boundary Lake to see if we can find the trail. Because we have to make it more difficult than it needs to be. And we don't like hiking. And we don't really want to hike up and down right now. For some reason my leg's quite sore. I blame this darn pack boat. But I don't know. Boundary Lake. Wow, is this beautiful. Checking out the campsite here on Boundary Lake. Looks pretty nice, maybe 4, 5 small tent pads that I see. Not as good a view as I was hoping. The hiking campsite would have a way better view. Can't see the mountain, but that's cool. Or Silver Peak, should I say. We are getting close to where I think the trail will be. Honestly, I think dead ahead is it. We're there. There's the canoe. Boundary Lake. And here's the trail. But where does it lead? It leads to the trail. Hopefully we can remember this spot. Find our canoe later. Hey look, I can see my campsite. And like that, the hike is complete. I don't actually know how far that was. Anywhere between 3 and 5 kilometers. But I got done in 3 hours with a nice about half hour up there for lunch, so that was pretty cool. Now here's a red pine forest, younger, with I believe a few hemlocks, not with 5 hemlocks going out of there. Hopefully this birch bark burns well today. Most of the other wood seems wet, but I've heard good things about birch bark. Let's give it a try. So when I first came here to book my campsite, a lady was complaining about the noise of the cottagers and the float planes and this personal helicopter thing. So far I haven't heard the personal helicopter. But there goes the plane. Not too bad in my opinion. portage over there. But they made one trip, I feel like they might have to make another one. After a long day, we're sitting here, having a hot chocolate, enjoying a nice fire, and waiting for these rain and thunderstorms to hit. Just like to mention, we do not stand on thunderboxes, we sit on them. 9:30, we are departing into the fog. Silver Peak is no longer visible, and we are heading to Johnnie Lake. Looks like a pretty decent beaver dam. We got 2-3 feet maybe? You know what they say? Damn. That is a massive drop. Gotta be 3-4 feet. That's incredible. And slightly annoying. Just massive. Time for the next portage to Bell Lake from David Creek. Cool. There, we've made it to Log Boom Lake. Should be on my map 2 more little portages, and then we're at Johnnie. We take something in the spring, but then our next portage is over there. And it's quite shallow across this section. Oh, hello. I gotta say, seeing an algae bloom like this makes me a little nervous about this lake. If that's any blue-green algae, this might be dangerous to drink. Huh. Here's Johnnie Lake. Johnnie Lake. Okay. I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna have to manage my expectations. But I saw that this had a little sandcastle building icon on Jeff's maps, which would mean it had a beach. I mean, let me know in the comments below, but I do not see a beach, do you? Well, not the first time I've been disappointed by Jeff's maps. Won't be the last. God bless you, Jeff. Love your maps, even if sometimes there is no beach where there says there is one. Got the tent all the way over there under a tarp, because I was told there's a 70% chance of rain pretty much all day, which I have not seen. Nice big wide open hemlock forest. Site 117, Johnnie Lake. The only issue is this hill right here. This big rock is the only thing stopping me from the other people's next site over. We both share access to the rock. So I'm about 50 meters or less away. They're maybe about 100 meters or less away. And they have a dog. Let's see how this goes. Enjoying my last OTG meal. As far as I know, OTG meals is no more. Anyways, I had 2 different vegetable chilies during this trip, and both of them were a little bit different. Anyways, thank you, Randy, for the many years of OTG meals. I wish you best of luck on future endeavors, and just so you know, your meals are still the best that was ever out there. Rest in peace, OTG. Well, it's been a really great trip. Really enjoyed my time in Killarney. Was happy that when it did rain, it only rained at night. Beautiful warm weather. It was really warm sleeping actually for this time of year, exceptionally. Anyways, I'll be back, Killarney. See ya. On the water for 8:10. Let's see if we can get the car all loaded and ready to leave for 9. Wishful thinking. Beaver Dam at the end of Johnnie Lake. Big one. And there's the portage, guys. That's it. That's a wrap. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.